Hi guys, quick book review. 5 years ago I bought this, right? The Conspiracy of the Planet of the Apes, right? And then I was told the sequel was coming about a year later. Obviously you can see the design of the Icarus, Liberty One, you know, the ship in here. It's not about this book, it's about probably both of them, but I should really go with the latest book. I bought this, it's a fantastic read. I've read this book several times. It does sort of make you want to watch the first Planet of the Apes movie. It's incredibly tidy. This is about the parts, what happened to Landon. It also answers how the apes managed to get Liberty One, or the Icarus, back to 20th century Earth. Yes, the answers are in here. You also get an origin about the underdweller society as well, and the insanity of the ape society, about how it's all screwed up and of this upside down world. So this is what I want to talk about, is this. This is the sequel. This is the sequel to that. Right, so this 5 years, guys. I had to wait for the bloody sequel. From Blam Ventures. You know, I had to order this off their website years ago, and then they said I actually got a reply from the writer who wrote the book. I said, when's the second book coming out? Because there were a couple sort of forecasted. He said next year, or when the next Ape movie, you know, when the new Planet of the Apes movie started. And that were it. So I waited 3 movies later, didn't come out. And then this year, well, end of last year, it finally got released. Now, this is a fantastic read, it really is. It's by Andrew E.C.Gaska. Death of the Planet of the Apes. Basically, it's what happens to Taylor, you know, when the underdwellers get him, and they set him up in, like, put him in a big illusion of some futuristic society, like they're trying to get information out of the create this big illusion. When he falls through that thing in the second film, he falls through it, because this covers both movies really, the first two. And he falls through, and then it's Taylor trying to figure everything out, what's going on, and it goes into journey. Then you get into the whole political situation with the apes and about invading the Forbidden Zone, and you really touch on politics of ape society. That is an old class of orangutans that are quite religious. When some of the chimpanzees, I forgot the name, you know, the ones that go to Earth, it's not Galen, I forgot what they're called. There's General Ursus, Milo, Zara, you know, when Zara and Cornelius, well, they sneak in, when Zeus goes off to war, because he's trying to stop it, they find that they read some early scriptures, which ties into number 3 actually, because it comes out that the lawgiver there's been a lawgiver every generation or something. They've made it out to be the same character. Somewhere it all went to shit, did religion, but the orangutans, they've known about the humans for thousands of years, and they've found the documents in this office. And this fanatical orangutan, who's like temporary president, who's teamed up with Ursus to like invade the area, he's right religious and conservative and all this. He puts them under arrest, but they get out of the city because they get helped by followers of Milo. Now, in the first book, Milo speaks to Landon, and they really go into it. He tells them where the ship is, and Milo manages to get a thing signed to go out and explore the area, but he manipulates it. He gets Zeus to sign wrong documents. Zeus just signs it. And he goes out there with a load of chimps, and they find the ship. Now the ship is interesting because we see it sink, but there was air pockets in the ship, right? And the ship, so like they go down, they get it up. You know, they use some explosives because it's on like a reef. So they bring it up and then they drag it ashore, and they let it dry out and stuff. Now you're going to say, well, how do they fix it from there? Well, right, you know when Brent crashes his ship. Well, when they see his ship coming down, because this ship, when it comes out of like light drive, hits a satellite, a military satellite that's been observing the Earth for like 2,000 years. And it crashes into it, and both things crash. But they see it because they're out in Forbidden Zone, and they're watching him from behind a cliff with the other guy, you know, and Nova turns up and he fucks off with her. So they get on board what's left of his ship and take it apart and find an instruction book as well. I mean, it's all a bit oversimplified, and that's it. And they start fixing the first ship up, and they do a good job. They get it working. And landing gear comes out and they create a runway. He figures quite a lot out, does Milo. But there's all the old political thing. I don't really want to go into too much to ruin this book for you, so I do recommend, it's like 500-page read, you know. But there is a lot of questions. How do they get the ship operational? Now, we know that ship is in 2 sections. There's the star drive section in orbit, because we all wondered about that. The beauty of this book is, Ferdinand Burke mentioned, they're in here from the television series, because they ended up in another parallel timeline, didn't they? So it's, you know, my theory about Planet of the Apes, where when they open a time thing and then Earth gets destroyed, it creates multiple timelines, so you can travel to anyone in the future, but you can come back, but you always go back to the main event, you know. Because apparently history does get altered, because apparently the ape thing don't happen until 25th century, but it happens in 1999, doesn't it? When, you know, and all that. We know that. But according to this, in there, it's meant to be 25th century or something. But it's fascinating reading. It answers a lot of questions. Now, I'm a big fan of the first book, I really do, and I think this is a nice sequel. They're both great books, but I mean, there is, I suppose you could find plot holes somewhere in this. There's some things you think, yeah, they couldn't have done that. Because the apes want that, they want that advanced, were they? You know, they were quite primitive, weren't they, really, compared to what we are today. Yeah, again, they shouldn't have even had bloody machine guns, but they did, didn't they? So, look, there's a lot of things, especially about the Underdweller Society, is quite interesting. There's paragraphs, and there's these big floating brains that exist as well. No more, I won't tell you anymore. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of politics, a lot about character development. This fills up. If they could have put this in I'd say 2.5 movies, this would have answered. It would have been brilliant. You know what I mean? So I do recommend this as a read, guys. Death of the Planet of the Apes revealed for the first time the terrifying final days of Taylor. You know. In Beneath Planet of the Apes, Colonel George Taylor disappears into the Forbidden Zone, only to turn it in the film's climatic scene for 48 years. The question has remained, what happened to Taylor? And there you go, it's all in these 2 books, guys, all of it. You know, I felt sorry for Landon, though. God, you know, I mean, you know, imagine being stuck in an ape zoo. Get your dirty hands off me, you stinking ape! Probably said that wrong. Right, guys, so that's my review of Death of the Planet of the Apes and The Conspiracy of the Planet of the first one. Do recommend these as a double read. The first one, you get through it quickly. This took me a couple of days. On the second one, the second book is much more chunkier. First book is it's like just enough to get your teeth watered. So it was worth 5 years for a sequel, but you could find plot holes in it somewhere, I suppose, but you don't care about that. Just enjoy it for what it is. Alright, guys, I will see you on the next review.